The people who are born into families of actors and everything like that, the pressures are more on them. We were all relaxed people. We didn't kind of just go mad about the kind of euphoria that Mohabbatein created. Then that's Mohabbatein. Let's leave it aside. That's the way it is. You don't always have to think of remaking things or whatever because of whatever. Let it be there. जब वो टाइम होता था तो लोग बोलते थे ये क्या प्यार मोहब्बत कोका कोला बनता है. आज की डेट में आप बोलते हो अरे क्या फिल्में होती थी उस टाइम पे. कभी जिंदगी में मैंने किसी को खुश नहीं देखा. Because that supporting role is more remembered today than any other, maybe a lead role that I did around the same time or whatever.
This kind of label started coming with you, that the guy who the girl leaves.
मुझसे ज़्यादा तो दूसरों की लड़कियां भागी हैं यार. पहले 2 साल जितना मैंने काम किया उसके बाद मैंने खुद ही साइनिंग अमाउंट्स वापस दी थी और कहा था कि यार आई वांट टू डू समथिंग डिफरेंट बिकॉज ये चॉकलेट बॉय बहुत ज़्यादा हो रहा है. आदित्य चोपड़ा टोल्ड मी दिस अमेजिंग थिंग. ही टर्न्ड अराउंड एंड सेड दैट जिमी you have just given a film which is of a young character. This is a young phase. Enjoy this phase as much as you can, you know.
And talking about Mohabbatein, like when 6 people come together, what do you think kind of went different for you from the others that consistency came?
Gulzar saab.
I think as Indians, most of us are living a life that is heavily influenced by cinema. Cinema either shows us the reality or the aspiration. My next guest has actually been a part of both of those cinema, and I feel like a lot of what I believe in, what I explore and what I experienced has been heavily influenced by it. So it's an honor for me as I sit with him, because just sitting with him and just seeing his face actually takes me on a trip down memory lane, and right now I'm going to experience it in his company. So let's welcome Jimmy Shergill to Bollywood Bubble. So firstly, Jimmy sir, welcome to Bollywood Bubble.
Thank you so much, Akash.
I have to say, like, you always exude such a amazing aura, na? It just feels very warm just sitting right next to you. This is my second time, and I've heard a lot of stories about you before this, as I have told you our common connection before this. Firstly, kudos to that. A very eventful career you have had till now. Even today, you are finding things to do that kind of excite you, that kind of help you explore your craft. When you look at such scripts, does it fill you with a sense of pride in a way that where our cinema is heading, where our industry is heading towards?
Yes, it does. I think we've come a long way, and आजकल OTT platform जो है वो बहुत बड़ी चीज़ हो गया है, and you have so many interesting makers, creators coming up and making stuff which otherwise you would not end up seeing on the big screen, and they're doing that over here because they don't have that pressure of the box office, and they are going ahead and following their creativity and coming out with so many interesting shows today. So I think it's a great time and it feels good.
Yeah, and also like we have seen you from the lens of an audience, na? We have seen you lead a very simple life, away from the media, very in your own world and away from the controversies and everything. But with your characters, you experience a lot of quirks. Like they have such a different, sometimes humorous shades, sometimes grey shades and everything. Do you feel like you explore your personality through these characters?
No, my personality is totally different to these characters that I try to play. I guess that is the only reason why these characters excite me, and I enjoy portraying these characters, whether it's something that is menacing or something that is, soft or whatever. And I think with each portrayal, you learn so much and you carry home so much, and like I say, an actor's job is to observe. And so ज़िंदगी में आपने बहुत लोगों को, बहुत चीज़ों को observe किया होता है. अचानक से when some character is offered to you is when you start putting 2 and 2 together and you say, oh, this is something pretty close to what somebody I met like those many years back, and something rings a bell in your head, and you just start thinking about it, and then you try and use it in the story. But then there are times that you come across so many characters which do not ring a bell and which do not get you any kind of a similarity with anybody you have met, and that's where you have to rely on the writers and the director. So yeah, but it's fun nevertheless.
Yeah, and today when we see now the people who are entering the industry, they have to deal with a lot of pressures even before they come on camera. There's a lot of social media presence you have to build. You have to be papped everywhere. You have to kind of engage with the audience even before you come on camera. When you debuted, the environment was very different. Do you feel it was comparatively easier at that time, or the challenges were different, or it was more difficult because right now maybe the reach is much more compared?
Times were different. गिने चुने 3-4 A-grade producers होते थे. Then there would be 7, 8, 10 who would come in the B category, and then everything else beyond that was C. And you wouldn't even mind getting work in the C category to be working. You know what I mean? Today's date and time, there is work everywhere, and if you don't have work, you have your iPhone and you start making stuff. So you can't compare the two times. It's difficult. But yes, the pressures are on the people who are born into families of actors and everything like that. The pressures are more on them. Not that the pressures of those kids was any less at that point of time, but today it is more because it is, and because people expect out of you, and so yeah, it is. I can imagine how tough it is for the youngsters.
Yeah. And what you said about it, like you got to witness it firsthand with Mohabbatein, because there was Uday and Shamita who belonged to the
And line is basically, boss, life is not easy all the time. You know what I mean? Life is difficult.
True.
But learn to enjoy it. Yeah. It's as simple as that.
And I remember that when Mohabbatein came, there was so much news, like 6 fresh faces coming in. But you have been in the industry for 5 years before that as well. Do you feel the success of it became easier to handle because of that experience? Because Mohabbatein was a big wide success, and everyone was chanting all of your name. It was even though there was Shah Rukh sir and Amitabh sir, you all got noticed. So that success that came, does it become easier to handle because of that 5 years experience before?
ऐसा कुछ नहीं था यार. It depends from person to person. I think we were all relaxed people. We didn't kind of just go mad about the kind of euphoria that Mohabbatein created. Kind of a euphoria which is still there. I mean, if people make reels on that and they are still becoming viral one after the other, that means that film still has a following. You know what I mean? And but then that's Mohabbatein. Let's leave it aside. That's the way it is. You don't always have to think of remaking things or whatever because of whatever. That is something which is there. It's a legend. Let it be there and move on in life. And I guess we've all moved on and done a bit.
Yeah. And being a 90s kid, I feel like those early 2000s films are very sacred to me. Like there are people like me, like I have to watch.
It's a very simple thing, Akash. जब वो टाइम होता था तो लोग बोलते थे ये क्या प्यार मोहब्बत कोका कोला बनता है. आज की डेट में आप बोलते हो अरे क्या फिल्में होती थी उस टाइम पे. कभी जिंदगी में मैंने किसी को खुश नहीं देखा है. आपको एक चीज समझनी पड़ेगी कि आपके जाने के बाद भी ये दुनिया वैसे ही चलती रहेगी. ठीक है, तो क्या है, क्या प्रॉब्लम है यार. जो अच्छी चीज आती है उसको देखो, एंजॉय करो.
It's all about just
we have become too vindictive about everything, which is what I don't like. I mean, just be happy.
Yeah.
Why can't the more vindictive you keep becoming, the more vindictive you will keep becoming each day. You know what I mean? तो थोड़ा खुश रहो यार. थोड़ा आपके बाद भी दुनिया चलती रहेगी. तो relax करो.
Initially, there were so many good roles you did. I remember Dil Hai Tumhara. I had gone and watched with my family. Like, my mother is a crazy fan of that film. And I remember watching that, and your ventriloquism and everything, you got to explore so much. Then there was also a time when you started doing more of supporting characters. And then came this phase where you are handling both the sides together. The leading phase, supporting phase, the character roles and everything. In between, was there ever a time where you kind of felt a little disoriented or felt like maybe this is what I want to do, but this is not happening, and the other side I am doing in the terms of leading characters, supporting characters, or the kind of characters you play?
See, I'm an actor here. I have to look at something interesting to do.
Yeah.
So मुझे कुछ नयापन एक supporting role में दिख रहा था. I have done that rather than doing the same run of the mill. I'm glad I did that because that supporting role is more remembered today than any other, maybe a lead role that I did around the same time or whatever. So as an actor, you got to just follow your heart and say, yeah, this is something I have not done before. This is something interesting. Let me do this.
Yeah.
And you get to learn from it also. And at the same time, you enjoy doing something new also as an actor. So वो सब किया है, and that's what we are doing today also. And insecurity सबको होती है यार. मैं तो रोज़ रात को सोते हुए सोचता हूँ कोविड वापस ना आ जाए यार. आप समझ रहे हो, तो किसी न किसी चीज़ की इनसिक्योरिटी तो सबको होती है. और बाकी जहाँ तक आपके काम का सवाल है, आपके काम पे वो इनसिक्योरिटी नहीं दिखनी चाहिए, बाकी सब ठीक है.
True. And I remember last time also I had mentioned this to you that when Chuna ka poster had released, people had commented ki this time I hope he gets the girl. And this kind of label started coming with you, that the guy who the girl leaves. When did you start enjoying this label, this kind of tag that came with it? Because you have
no, it was planned around the release of Happy भाग जाएगी. उसके लिए जो है वो पूरा वो प्लान हुआ था, प्रमोशन अराउंड द फैक्ट दैट अगर आप उस हिसाब से फिल्मों के नाम गिनेंगे तो उसमें तो ऐसी बहुत सारी फिल्में हैं और उनकी जो उनका जो नंबर है वो कहीं एक्सीड करता है फ्रॉम द फिल्म्स दैट मुझसे ज़्यादा तो दूसरों की लड़कियां भागी हैं यार. वो प्रमोशन हमारे ही प्रोड्यूसर्स ने प्लान किया था, बट आई एम हैप्पी दैट लोग उसको देख के लोग खुश होते हैं, थोड़ी सी मुझे सिंपैथी दे देते हैं. मगर उसके अलावा कुछ नहीं है. बट कभी कभी हंसी आ जाती है कि लोग कैसी कैसी चीज़ें बना रहे हैं, इसमें वो भाग गई, इसमें वो भाग गई, इसमें वो भाग गई. मैंने कहा चलो रियल लाइफ में भागती रहे, चलेगा.
रियल लाइफ में भागते हैं, रियल लाइफ वाली तो है ही साथ में.
रियल लाइफ में, वही बोल रहा हूँ, रियल लाइफ में भागती रहे, ठीक है.
But it takes a lot to be okay with this, because there are a lot of actors out there who would get insecure of that, or who would feel like, okay, this is stereotyping happening, but you have always found something new to do in it. On paper might sound similar, but they always have something different to offer. Like a Happy Bhag Jayegi does not have the similar portrayal as maybe a Tanu Veds Manu would have.
Yeah.
And even though on paper, if you think about it, they might sound similar. So that credit goes to you also, and the writing also.
Yeah, absolutely.
In both those ways. And it's very necessary to enjoy it. That's why I said, when did you start enjoying it? Because you have started enjoying that phase instead of taking it in the wrong way. And that takes a lot. So during this time, was there any voices that kind of were around you, they were telling you कि you should not stick to this will stick to you, or people will then not see you?
स्टिकिंग के मामले में तो मैं खुद ही अपनी वॉइस को फॉलो कर रहा था यार. मैं तो पहले 2 साल जितना मैंने काम किया उसके बाद मैंने खुद ही साइनिंग अमाउंट्स वापस दी थी और कहा था कि यार आई वांट टू डू समथिंग डिफरेंट, बिकॉज ये चॉकलेट बॉय बहुत ज़्यादा हो रहा है. एंड एवरीबडी वुड से व्हाई, इट्स अमेजिंग, इट्स दिस थिंग. आई वुड से नहीं यार, समथिंग where something inside me is telling me that this won't last for more than 2-3 years more, and then you know I'll be this thing. So I need to look for something different. That's where Munna Bhai MBBS, Hasil, Yahan, these kind of films kept coming every few months, and you know, you kept doing those kind of roles, and which kind of just gave a very different image and never let you get stuck into one particular image. So वही था. I think from time to time वो अलग-अलग कुछ न कुछ निकालते रहे और उसके हिसाब से सिलसिला जो है वो चलता रहा.
Yeah, and I remember in our last conversation you had advised this to Ashim, that don't be in a rush to get away from the chocolate boy image, enjoy it while it is there. So what made you kind of realize is that you should have also kind of enjoyed at that time, rather than being in a rush to play more mature or maybe different parts?
No, I was not. I don't say that I was in a rush because I remember very clearly Aditya Chopra told me this amazing thing that post Mohabbatein I was in a little bit of a dilemma. So at some point when I was with him, I asked him. I said, there is this particular role where which I'm being offered is of a husband and has maybe a small kid and is opposite an actress, a star who's much senior to me. So this thing. So he turned around and said that Jimmy, you have just given a film which is of a young character. This is a young phase. Enjoy this phase as much as you can, you know, right now. And finally, those matured roles will come to you. क्योंकि हर इंसान एज तो करता ही है और धीरे धीरे वो roles भी आएंगे. So I did follow his advice. I did this thing, but somewhere I feel that you do start wanting to do more intense stuff and this thing. But that's a want of an actor, not of you as a young person or whatever. So that's why I tell all the youngsters when I'm working with them, I say, don't be in a hurry.
Yeah.
Enjoy this phase. This phase is not going to come back.
Yeah, that's true. And talking about Mohabbatein, like when 6 people come together, an eye is on all of them, what they will do. And not to compare, because everyone has their different part, but yours has been acting-wise most consistent and most longest abhi tak. And consistent, I say because you have been consistently working in films, OTT, whatever, but acting-wise you have been consistent. What do you think kind of went different for you from the others that consistency came?
Gulzar saab. He had told me the most important thing for an actor is to keep working. Yeah. Just keep yourself busy. It's going to pull you through a lot of things. And I just kept myself busy. I just kept going because I needed to also. I had to earn a living. I had to be independent. I had to do things on my own. Everybody knows that you can't have a family supporting you throughout and this thing. So I did not have that luxury of choosing and doing one film in 1 year, 1.5 years. So I think that is where whatever Gulzar Sahib had said when we were doing matches is keep yourself busy as an actor. Just be doing something or the other, you know, because you don't know what will work and what will not. That's not in your hands. Never let the fate of a film become your fate.
Yeah.
So just keep working, keep yourself busy as an actor, and that's what I did.
Yeah, and you have never had I feel, difficulty in taking those difficult decisions as well, because I was reading about you that when you were 18, you decided to cut your hair, and it was against the wishes of your parents and the family. So you took that decision. If you're comfortable talking about it, was that decision at that young age was challenging? Because for 1.5 years you had to kind of stay away from your parents. They were not talking to you that much. So was that phase kind of difficult and that kind of made you doubt about the decisions you would
यार बच्चे होते हैं, गलतियां हो जाती हैं, मुझसे भी हो गई थी और वो बात किसी ने कहीं छेड़ दी और वो चीज़ आगे निकल गई. बट द थिंग इज़ आई मीन उससे पेनफुल तो कोई चीज़ नहीं होती है अपने माँ बाप से बात ना करना अपने टाइम के लिए और अलग होना. हम बच्चे थे, हमसे गलती हो गई थी. शायद 1.5 साल में हमारे माँ बाप ने हमें माफ़ कर दिया और उसके बाद चीज़ें. बट आई थिंक कहीं ना कहीं कुछ डेस्टिनी होती है, वो आपके सोचने से ज़्यादा काम करती है. तो शायद मेरे नसीब में उस टाइम पे तो हम सोच भी नहीं सकते थे कि कहीं इस इंडस्ट्री में आएंगे. बट कहीं नसीब में लिखा हुआ था कि यार जाना इसको उस तरफ है. तो शायद धीरे धीरे करके कहीं ना कहीं कुछ ना कुछ ऐसी, चाहे गलतियाँ कह लीजिए, चाहे इंसिडेंट्स कह लीजिए, चाहे हादसे कह लीजिए, वो चीज़ें होती चली गई और फाइनली यहाँ आ गए. वो हर इंसान की अपनी कहानी होती है, हमारी ये है
जी. And the story has been very inspiring. And you have worked with, I feel like, the biggest of names, be it in direction, production, acting, everyone. You have learned a lot from them. Like right now I got to know about 2 people, Aditya Chopra and Gulzar Saab, what they told you. So how has been the learning and evolution of you as an actor been influenced by those people? Be it Shah Rukh Khan, be it Ajay Devgan, or be it Akshay Kumar, or be it Aditya Chopra, Gulzar Saab. You have worked with so many people. How has that kind of influenced your evolution as an actor?
30 साल का किस्सा मैं ऐसे 2 मिनट में कैसे बता दूं यार, तो मुश्किल बात है, लेकिन सब जितना भी कुछ सीखा है, जो भी सीखा है, learned it over here. And कभी फुर्सत में बैठेंगे तो बता.
Okay. And did you ever feel in your career that someone had tried to लगाओ you चूना professionally?
चूना एक ऐसी चीज़ है जो जिसको लगता है वो भी नहीं बोल पाता है, और जो लगाता है वो भी किसी को जाके बताता नहीं है कि मैंने चूना लगाया, क्योंकि वो अगले आदमी को चूना नहीं लगा पाएगा. तो ये चूना बड़े कमाल की चीज़ है.
What would you consider your bravest decision that you have taken professionally in your 28 years of career?
Bravest decision I have taken. Great over here in Hindi films and everything like that, and there was almost no Punjabi cinema. I went back to Punjabi cinema to try and do something for that industry, and you know, from my position, whatever I could, I did. I took out that extra time and let go of some projects over here to put in that extra time over there to make sure. And God listened to me, and he made my dream come true, because I always used to say that I want this to be a full-fledged industry where they have the local superstars and everything like that, and films are made and released every week, and there are so many Punjabi films made, and that finally God gave me that dream in 2009, 2010, and that time onwards the Punjabi industry became an industry on its own.
It is boomed and how?
So yeah, so I'm glad that I took that decision. It takes a lot out of you to leave your work and your money aside to do and achieve something. So I'm glad I did that, and I'm very emotional about that.
Yeah, and you mentioned a Punjabi industry. It's like when we talk about pan-India cinema today, we see the languages that come in it is Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, Hindi, English, and Kannada. The Punjabi, Bengali, Gujarati, these languages are still not coming in that bracket. Do you feel that it's time that they should be considered?
आ जाएंगे, हर चीज़ को time लगता है. There is always, when something new comes up, सबसे पहली चीज़ जो होती है वो करप्शन होती है. थोड़ी करप्शन हर चीज़ में आती है, चाहे वो कुछ भी हो. तो वो फेज़ अभी हमारा जो है वो ऑलमोस्ट ख़त्म हो के वो सेटल हो रहा है. People are becoming a little more secure and relaxed and everything like that. Now it's going to be a phase to watch out for.
Do you plan to produce in Hindi as well, or maybe make a pan-India film?
I will with time, yeah. I will with time. But this time when I produce something, I'm going to give it all the time that I have.
Yeah. Maybe you would be that pioneer to make that pan-India film with Punjabi as well included.
Let's see, maybe.
Yeah. But talking to you just makes me feel that as human you are much more inspiring. As a person you are much more delightful than what we see on screen, and that is to say that you are amazing on screen. So thank you so much for this time, Demi. Sir, it has been a pleasure talking to you. Hope you had a good time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thank you. Hi, this is Jimmy Shergill, and you're watching me on Bollywood Bubble.